Hey friends, my name is Morgan Proudfoot and I'm the pastor of Grace Harbor Church located here in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Our city is a city of about 150,000 people. 85% of those people live at or below the poverty line. In 2018, my family and I, my wife Jess, and our 4 kids moved here to start a new church. Our heart for this type of region, for this type of people group, really is connected to my own story, my own background. I grew up in inner city of Seattle, on the streets, kind of hustling at a very young age. My dad was in prison most of my life, a good portion of that. And so my heart for forgotten places, forgotten people, the least, the last, and the lost really is a burden that is rooted to my own story and my own history. And in our city, New Bedford, not everybody, but the vast majority would come from these types of homes. And this is the homes that the people, the community, the neighborhood that so often is overlooked, the marginalized. And so our heart is to serve in a place where we would never run out of gospel opportunity. So for the past 3 years, we have been primarily preaching, living, modeling the gospel of Jesus Christ. We have seen people make professions of faith. We've seen, by God's grace, people get baptized. We're seeing people follow Jesus in obedience, which is really some of the most radical things that we're seeing, where people have put sin to death, coming out of their trauma and responding in ways that only the gospel can get glory for. Only the gospel can truly bring life to dead people. One of our big hearts and the reasons we moved here is because New Bedford, Fall River, the region of this part of our state, is really forgotten. And so, one of the things that we recognized early on is that churches were not being planted in neighborhoods like this. And so our heart and our vision really comes from this place where we believe that the gospel is for everybody. And so we don't want to just see churches planted in these neighborhoods to be the exception of the rule. We want it to be normal. And so the opportunity that God has given us really is to see and to plant, to replant and revitalize other local neighborhood churches. And so we've developed a small little ministry called Neighborhood Churches to help establish churches in some of these densely populated neighborhoods that are currently without any type of faithful gospel witness in them. And so Neighborhood Churches is a ministry of our church, of Grace Harbor Church, that helps identify and recruit men and women to come and serve in these forgotten places. A few of the things that we're praying for, that we're excited about, that we're by faith asking the Lord for. One is more churches. We feel the barrenness here in a particular way, and so we're praying that God would establish 30 neighborhood churches in our city of New Bedford. We're praying that God would establish 20 neighborhood churches in the city next to us, Fall River. We're praying and asking that God would send men and women and families who want to give their life to forgotten places. Secondly, we're praying that for a generational type of ministry. Our vision and our dream is that we don't want to just plant churches that are here 5, 10, 15 years. We want to see churches established for generations to come by God's grace. Thank you guys so much for your time, praying for you as you pray for us.